Ride, You Tonto Raiders by Louis L'Amour. 1. The rain, which had been falling steadily for 3 days, had turned the trail into a sloppy river of mud. Peering through the slanting downpour, Matt Sabre cursed himself for the quixotic notion that impelled him to take this special trail to the home of the man that he had gunned down. Nothing good could come of it, he reflected. Yet the thought that the young widow and child might need the money he was carrying had started him upon the long ride from El Paso to the Mogollons. Certainly neither the bartender nor the hangers-on in the saloon could have been entrusted with that money, and nobody was taking that dangerous ride to the Tonto Basin for fun. Matt Sabre was no trouble hunter. At various times he had been many things, most of them associated with violence. By birth and inclination he was a Western man, although much of his adult life had been lived far from his native country. He had been a buffalo hunter, a prospector, and for a short time a two-gun marshal of a tough cattle town. It was his stubborn refusal either to back up or back down that kept him in constant hot water. Yet some of his trouble derived from something more than that. It stemmed from a dark and bitter drive toward violence, a drive that lay deeply within him. He was aware of this drive and held it in restraint, but at times it welled up, and he went smashing into trouble. A big, rugged, and dangerous man who fought like a Viking gone berserk, except that he fought coldly and shrewdly. He was a tall man, heavier than he appeared, and his lean, dark face had a slightly patrician look with high cheekbones and green eyes. His eyes were usually quiet and reserved. He had a natural affinity for horses and weapons. He understood them, and they understood him. It had been love of a good horse that brought him to his first act of violence. He had been buffalo hunting with his uncle and had interfered with another hunter who was beating his horse. At 16, a buffalo hunter was a man and expected to stand as one. Matt Sabre stood his ground and shot it out, killing his first man. Had it rested there, all would have been well, but 2 of the dead man's friends had come hunting Sabre. Failing to find him, they had beaten his ailing uncle and stolen the horses. Matt Sabre trailed them to Mogollons and killed them both in the street, taking his horses home.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?